Okay, so where do you usually keep your pennies? I know most people usually they keep them under the seats of their car, in old jars somewhere on top of their desk, or just lying around their house, in the bottom of their bags. Women are always, digging through their bags for change. And surprisingly, the penny has started a very big debate whether it's actually valuable. The penny is the smallest U.S. coin in circulation, but it's still in the middle of a very great debate. So people are debating whether the penny should be kept or taken out of circulation. Many groups are in support of the 1 cent coin because they say that taking the penny out of circulation would raise costs for consumers since they would have to round prices to the nearest nickel. While some people that are against the penny say that it doesn't make sense keeping the penny because it costs more to make than it is actually worth. So my goal today is to convince you that getting rid of the penny would be a huge mistake that we should avoid. Today we'll give you 4 main reasons why it is wise to keep the 1 cent coin in circulation. My first main argument against banning the penny is that it would raise costs for consumers. Passing a bill to ban the 1 cent coin would raise costs for consumers, according to Americans for Common Sense, and the research of Raymond Lombra, who's an economics professor at Penn State University. He said that a rounding bill would force an annual $600 million rounding tax on consumers. This is because Representative Jim Colby, a senior member of the House Appropriations Committee, proposed the Legal Tender Modernization Act. And this is a bill that would ban the penny and would round every purchase to the nearest nickel. So this bill would mean higher costs for consumers, obviously. Mark Weller, Executive Director of Americans for Common Sense, said that eliminating the penny would cause inflation. There's also a problem of conflict of interest because Representative Jim Colby is from Arizona, and we all, I don't know if you guys know this, but the nickel is not actually made of nickel, it's made of 90% copper, and Arizona is the largest copper producing state, so he's kind of just lobbying for his state. Another strong reason for keeping the penny is that while we can't use it as vending machines or even cash registers, it is very valuable to many charities. The group Americans for Common Sense recently participated in a campaign called Save the Penny, which is a penny drive. They collected just pennies. And as a result, many children in New York collected 65 million pennies, which added up to $655,000. And this isn't the only penny drive that was successful. Many other charities, small charities, depend greatly on pennies because it's easier for people to give up their pennies than giving up their quarters or their dimes. Usually people are more willing to give pennies than others money. So eliminating the penny and rounding every transaction to the nearest nickel is a terrible idea because it still costs more to make a nickel than it does a penny. Some people argue that it costs 1.26 cents to make a penny, and so that's more than it's worth. But the U.S. Mint said that it costs 0.81 cents, so there's a conflict there. And but it still costs more to make a nickel. Making a nickel costs, according to the U.S. Mint, making a nickel costs 7.7 cents to make. So even with the penny costing 1.26 cents to make, the nickel still surpasses that cost with 1.44 cents more than the penny. This means that the U.S. Mint could make 5 pennies and still lose less money than making one single nickel. If the whole point of the bill for eliminating the penny is to save money, then the nickel is not the right solution. The fourth reason why it is best to keep the penny is simply because the penny has a very large fan base. According to CNN Money, a recent survey by Coinstar, a company that makes coin exchange machines, and I'm sure all of you have seen one around, like drugstores and such. That this survey said that 65% of people polled favored keeping the penny in circulation. While you can't go to a store and ask what you can buy with a single penny, pennies do add up. So most people, or like myself, I like to collect pennies, and when I think I have enough, I will go to like the nearest Coinstar machine and exchange them. And you get cash. So, and according to the poll, a lot of people like doing this. But the most important reason yet for keeping the penny is that Abraham Lincoln is on it. I read an article by it was a reporter, a Canadian reporter, asked Barack Obama when he was still running for president if he would consider eliminating the penny, and he said, I would seriously consider eliminating the penny if I could find another way to honor my hero, Abraham Lincoln. So this is another very good reason for keeping the penny. So today I gave you many strong reasons to keep the penny in circulation. I explained to you how rounding every purchase to the nearest nickel would greatly increase prices for all of us consumers. I pointed out that many charities depend on the donations of pennies in order to keep working and helping those in need. I informed you that by eliminating the penny, production of nickels would have to increase, and this would impose an even higher cost. And lastly, I showed you that the penny is well liked by many Americans. I hope that all this information has persuaded you to think differently about the penny, and the next time you are walking down the street and you see a penny on the ground, please pick it up.
All right, Jerome, what did you think?
Well, she spoke loud and clear. That's good. I like how she had a lot of important details, and I think her grabber was pretty effective because I throw my pennies literally out the window when I drove. And
Litter bug.
Literally, yeah. No. Yeah, and then even though I'm guilty of it also right now, she kind of said a lot, and I actually started counting after a while. And yeah, I mean I said it too, I just noticed, but just try to cut down from the ums and ohs. That's it. It's good.
Okay. Well, you know what? I'm going to agree with a lot of your criticism. The only thing that I thought was really problematic in the speech were the ums and ahs. You got better as you went along. I think as you gained confidence and you knew the material a little bit better, that happened less often, and it seemed like there were fewer awkward transitions between ideas. What's that?
I do that when I talk too.
Yes, well, it's one of those things, when you're speaking in public, if you're going to have a little bit of time, then it's not too bad an idea people will recognize that it's decreasing over time, and it's not too distracting. But you only get a short amount of time to make an impression, and of course, you always want to make a good impression. I liked the speech a lot. I thought the content was really well developed. I liked the introduction. I thought it was well structured. You did excellent signposting in the speech. You had a really good summary at the end. You had a cute little exit line there. The script in your hand, sometimes that page gets waved around a little bit. But I didn't think that you were overly dependent on it. And those ums and ahs, like I said, sometimes when you're just using a natural sort of transition, they're going to come up occasionally. Just maybe squish them a little bit. Work on that. You'll see when you watch the tape or when you watch it online, you'll go, ah!